A PhD in economics earns less per hour than a plumber, and the plumber retires 15 years earlier. I know that sounds insane, but stick with me, because in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact math that proves your graduate degree might be the single most expensive financial mistake of your life. We're talking $200,000 in lost opportunity, 7 years of compounding wealth you'll never get back, and a retirement delay that could cost you your entire 60s. If that number makes you uncomfortable, good. It should. My name is Noah. I spend an unreasonable amount of time deconstructing why we buy things we don't need. I study the psychology behind the paycheck. So you don't have to. And I share the truth about money for those tired of pretending they're doing fine. If you want to avoid the single biggest wealth trap sold to millennials and Gen Z, hit subscribe. And if this video stops you from making a $250,000 mistake, drop a like so more people can see this math. Now, let's destroy a sacred cow. Section 1. The sacred cow slaughter. Your master's degree isn't an asset. It's a liability with a graduation ceremony. I can already hear the objections. But Noah, education is an investment. My parents sacrificed for my degree. Knowledge is power. Right? Wrong. Education used to be an investment. Past tense. Somewhere between 2008 and now, the equation flipped. And nobody updated the script your parents were reading from. Here's what actually happened. In 1970, 11% of adults had bachelor's degrees. Today, 38%. Supply went up, demand stayed flat, basic economics. When everyone has something, nobody has an advantage. But here's where it gets cruel. Instead of admitting the bachelor's degree lost value, the system doubled down. Get a master's, they said. Stand out from the crowd. So you did. And now 14% of adults have master's degrees. The treadmill just got faster. You're still running, still broke, still wondering why the promised payoff never arrived. Let me show you the psychological trap at work here. The education system sold you a contract. Study hard equals financial security. It was true for your parents. It was true for your grandparents. But the contract broke sometime around the financial crisis, and nobody told you. You kept your end of the deal. 4 years of undergrad, maybe 2 more for a master's. Some of you went for the PhD. 6, 7, 8 years of delayed earnings, mountains of debt, all because the system promised you a premium. The education premium. Remember that phrase? It's dead. Not just reduced, dead. And if you're sitting on student loans right now, wondering why your good degree isn't translating to a good life, this is why. Let's talk about debt-to-income ratios for a second. The average master's degree holder graduates with $70,000 in student loan debt. Starting salary? Maybe $60,000 if you're lucky. That's a debt-to-income ratio of 1.16. You owe more than a full year of your gross salary before taxes, before rent, before food. Compare that to a trade worker, an electrician, an HVAC technician, a plumber. Zero debt. Starting salary around $50,000. By age 25, they've already banked 3 years of earnings while you were still in the library. But here's what they never tell you in the college recruiting pamphlets. It's not about the starting salary. It's about the trajectory. The electrician at 25 has $150,000 in lifetime earnings already. You have negative $70,000. That's a $220,000 gap before you even start your first real job. And that gap? It compounds. Speaking of compounding, here's the uncomfortable question nobody wants to ask. What if you had invested those tuition dollars instead of spending them? Let's use real numbers. Say you spent $40,000 on a master's degree. 2 years of foregone earnings at $50,000 per year. That's another $100,000 in opportunity cost. Total $140,000. $140,000 invested at age 22 becomes $1.4 million by age 65 at an 8% return. Your master's degree didn't just cost you $40,000 in tuition. It cost you $1.4 million in retirement wealth. But here's the part that keeps me up at night. You don't even realize you're paying this cost. Because it's invisible. The tuition bill is visible. The loan payment is visible. But the compounding wealth you'll never build? That's invisible until you're 55. Looking at your retirement account and realizing the plumber you looked down on in high school is about to retire while you're still making payments. Let me ask you something. When did getting smarter become the same as getting poorer? Section 2. The truth pillar. The formula they don't teach in graduate school. Okay, time for some math. Don't worry, I'll make it simple. There's a formula that determines your actual wealth. Not your salary, not your degree, your wealth. Here it is. Final wealth equals your starting principal multiplied by 1 plus your growth rate, raised to the power of years invested, minus hidden costs. Let me break that down in English. Your starting principal is your salary when you begin working, not when you finish school. When you start earning, your growth rate is how fast your money grows. Through raises, promotions, investments, years invested is exactly what it sounds like. How many years your money has to compound. And hidden costs? That's the invisible killer. Student loan payments. Delayed career starts. Lifestyle inflation from trying to look the part of a professional. Let's apply this formula to two people, person A and person B. Same intelligence, same work ethic, different paths. Person A, the graduate student, age 22, starts master's program, 2 years, $40,000 in tuition, lives on loans, no income. Age 24, graduates, $70,000 in total debt, gets job. $60,000 salary, pays $700 per month in student loans. Age 29, 5 years into career, salary grows to $75,000, still paying loans. Saves maybe 5% after rent, loans, and maintaining a professional lifestyle. Age 35, loan finally paid off, starting to save seriously. But here's the problem. You're 13 years behind on compounding. Let's calculate final wealth at age 65. Starting principal at age 24. $60,000 salary, but $700 month goes to loans. Effective savings, $1,000, month starting at age 3, 0 being generous. That's $12,000 per year for 35 years at 8% growth. Final wealth, approximately $2.3 million. Now let's look at person B. Person B, the trade worker. Age 22, completes electrician apprenticeship, 0 debt, starts earning $50. Age 24, 2 years of experience. Salary $55,000. Saves 15% because no loan payments. That's $8,250 per year. Age 29. Salary grows to $70,000. Still saving 15%. Now it's $10,500 per year. Age 35. Starts own business. Income jumps to $90,000. Saves 20%. That's $18,000 per year. Let's calculate final wealth at age 65. Starting at age 22 with $7,500 per year. Increasing contributions as income grows. Final wealth, approximately $3.8 million. Person B retires with $1.5 million more than person A. Both worked hard, both were smart, but person B didn't spend 7 years and $70,000 proving it. Here's the part that hurts. By age 65, person B could retire. Person A, still working to catch up. The hidden cost variable in that formula destroyed person A. Student loans, delayed start, years of compounding lost forever. You can't get those years back. You can't unspend that tuition. But you can stop making the same mistake twice. Section 3. The Opportunity Cost Massacre. Let's talk about what you actually gave up. Every year in graduate school costs you $250,000. Not in tuition. In wealth, you'll never build. I know that number sounds dramatic. Let me prove it. From age 22 to age 29, you were in school. 7 years. During those 7 years, you could have been earning $50,000 per year. That's $350,000 in lifetime earnings. But it's worse than that, because money earned early compounds. $50,000 invested at age 22 becomes $500,000 by age 65. That's a 10x return over 43 years at 8% growth. So those 7 years didn't just cost you $350,000 in income. They cost you $3.5 million in final wealth. Add in your student loans, $70,000 at 6% interest. Over 10 years, you'll pay $93,000 total. That's $23,000 in interest. Money going to a bank instead of your retirement account. But here's the real killer: the psychological cost. You spent your 20s becoming an expert in something the market doesn't value, and now you're too proud to admit it. Let me tell you about Sarah. Real person, changed her name. Sarah got her PhD in sociology. Brilliant woman. Spent 8 years researching income inequality. Graduated at 30 with $120,000 in debt. Started as an adjunct professor. $35,000 per year. No benefits. She's 38 now. Still paying loans, still earning $45,000, lives with 2 roommates, drives a 5-year-old car, eats ramen twice a week. Meanwhile, her high school friend Marcus became an electrician, owns a house, 2 kids, retiring at 50. Net worth over $1.5 million. Sarah studied income inequality for 8 years. Marcus eliminated his own. I wish that story was rare. It's not. Here's what nobody tells you when you're 21 and choosing your path. The cost of education isn't just tuition, it's time. And time is the only resource you can't recover. Lost income years? That's cost number 1. 7 years earning 0 while your friends earn $350,000. Lost compound growth. That's cost number 2. That $350,000 could have become $3.5 million by retirement. Lost career momentum. That's cost number 3. Your friends started climbing the ladder at 22. You started at 29. They're directors by 35. You're still entry level. Add it all up. A master's degree costs you approximately $780,000 in total lifetime wealth compared to starting work immediately. A PhD? Over $1 million. And for what? A piece of paper that says you're qualified to teach other people how to get into the same trap. But here's the part that keeps me up at night. The worst cost isn't financial. It's identity. You built your entire self-concept around being the smart one, the one who went to college, the one who got advanced degrees, the one who reads theory while everyone else watches TV. And now the market is telling you it doesn't care. Your degree isn't opening doors. It's closing them. Overqualified. You've heard that word, right? You're not overqualified, you're underpaid because you traded earning years for credential years, and the market values production over credentials. So now you're stuck. Too proud to take a beneath you job. Too broke to wait for the right opportunity. Too deep in debt to start over. This is the opportunity cost massacre, and it's happening to millions of degree holders right now. Section 4. The blue-collar wealth revolution. The people you were told to look down on are retiring at 50. You'll be working at 70. Let me show you why. Plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians, welders. These are the new wealth class. And nobody saw it coming. 4 advantages. Let's break them down. Advantage 1. Immediate cash flow. Trade workers earn from day 1. Apprenticeships pay. Not much. Maybe $30,000 in year 1, but it's $30,000 more than you made sitting in a lecture hall. By age 25, the average electrician has banked $200,000 in lifetime earnings. The average master's student? Negative $70,000. That's a $270,000 head start before you've even started your real career. Advantage dose: 0 debt burden. No student loans. No $700 monthly payments. No 10-year repayment plan eating 15% of your gross income. Every dollar earned is a dollar available to invest, build wealth, buy assets. Meanwhile, you're sending $8,400 per year to loan servicers. For a decade. That's $84,000 total. Money that could have become $250,000 in your retirement account. Advantage 3. Recession-proof skills. Toilets always break. Electrical systems always fail. Air conditioning always needs repair. You can't Zoom a plumber. You can't AI a roof repair. You can't offshore an electrician. But you can replace a PhD adjunct professor with an online course, or an AI chatbot, or just not fill the position. The paradox is brutal. The more educated you are, the more replaceable you become. Advantage 4. Early exit options. Physical work creates a forcing function. You can't be a roofer at 65. Your body won't allow it. So, trade workers plan for early retirement. They save aggressively, they invest consistently, they build businesses, they create passive income. By 45, many are done. Not because they're rich, because they planned for an exit. You? You'll work until 67, maybe 70, because you started saving at 30 instead of 22. And you need those extra years to catch up. Let me show you the millionaire electrician timeline. Age 22 to 25. Earn $45,000 average. Save 30%. That's $13,500 per year. Total, $40,500. Age 25 to 35. Earn $70,000 average. Save 30%. That's $21,000 per year. Total, $210,000 additional. Age 35 to 45. Start business. Earn $100,000 average. Save 35%. That's $35,000 per year. Total, $350,000 additional. Now apply compound growth. 8% annually. At age 45, net worth approximately $1.8 million. Option to retire. Or keep working and hit $5 million by 55. Compare that to the PhD at 45. Still paying student loans, maybe $200,000 net worth if they were disciplined. Mandatory work until 65, minimum. So why do we still worship degrees? Status. We confused education with intelligence. We confused credentials with capability. We confused theory with practice. And now an entire generation is paying the price. Your degree made you common. Your debt made you poor. Your pride is keeping you there. Section 5. The Credential Devaluation Crisis. A bachelor's degree today is worth what a high school diploma was worth in 1990. You just paid $100,000 for it. Let's talk about supply and demand. In 1970, 11% of adults had bachelor's degrees. Limited supply, high demand, education premium was real. In 2024, 38% of adults have bachelor's degrees. Oversupply, flat demand, education premium collapses. This is credential inflation. And it's destroying wealth. When everyone has a bachelor's degree, having a bachelor's degree means nothing. So what did the system tell you? Get a master's degree. Stand out. So you did. And now 14% of adults have master's degrees. Supply increased again. Demand stayed flat. Premium eroded again. The treadmill just got faster. You're running harder. Going nowhere. And here's the cruel part. The solution the system offers is always the same. Get another degree. MBA. JD, PhD, more time, more money, more debt. But the underlying problem never changes. Credentials have become commodified. Supply exceeds demand. Value crashes. Meanwhile, what's actually scarce? Skills that can't be outsourced, can't be automated, can't be taught in a classroom. You can't Zoom a plumber to fix your sink. You can't AI generate a roof repair. You can't offshore an electrician. These skills are geographically bound, physically necessary, permanently valuable. Your sociology degree? A chatbot could do your job. Maybe better, definitely cheaper. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm trying to wake you up. The market doesn't care about your credentials. It cares about your production, your output, your results. And credentials don't produce results. Skills do. Here's the brutal math. Your degree made you common. Common means replaceable. Replaceable means underpaid. The scarce skills? Those command premium wages. Because supply is limited, demand is high, basic economics. So what do you do if you're already trapped in the degree prison? Section 6, the escape protocol. You can't undo your degree, but you can stop pretending it defines your worth. 3 steps. Let's go. Step 1. Acknowledge the sunk cost. Your degree cost you $70,000, or $120,000, or $200,000. That money is gone. Irreversible. Unrecoverable. Stop making new bad decisions to justify old bad decisions. I see this all the time. I can't take that job. I have a master's degree. I'm worth more than that. No, you're not. The market determines your worth, not your credential. If the market is offering you $50,000 and you're refusing because your ego demands $80,000, you're not protecting your value. You're protecting your ego, and your ego is expensive. Every month you spend waiting for the right opportunity is another month of zero income, zero wealth building, zero progress. The sunk cost is sunk. Accept it. Move on. Step 2. Monetize adjacent skills. You didn't waste 7 years. You learned things. The question is, what did you actually learn that the market values? PhD in literature? You can write. That's content strategy, copywriting, technical writing. Master's in sociology? You can research. That's data analysis, market research, UX research. Degree in philosophy? You can think. That's strategic planning, product management, consulting. The credential is worthless. The skills aren't. Stop trying to be a professor. Start being a strategist, a writer, a consultant, an analyst. Package your skills for market value, not academic prestige. Step 3. Hybrid identity strategy. Combine your credential with a practical skill. This is where the magic happens. PhD in history plus real estate license equals wealth advisor for academics. Master's in psychology plus coding bootcamp equals UX researcher. Degree in English plus SEO training equals content strategist. You're not abandoning your education, you're making it useful. The market doesn't value theory. It values theory plus application. Now let's talk about the aggressive debt elimination formula. Refinance immediately. Get the lowest possible interest rate. This reduces your monthly burden. Side income goes 100% to principal, not 50%, not 70%, 100%. Every dollar above your minimum payment. Timeline, 5 years maximum. Not 10, not 20, 5. Here's why. Every year you spend paying student loans is another year you're not building wealth. Time is your enemy. The faster you eliminate debt, the faster you start compounding wealth. 5 years of aggressive payments means you're debt-free at 35 instead of 40. That's 5 extra years of compound growth. That's the difference between retiring at 62 and retiring at 67. But here's the most important step. Permission. You are not your resume. You are not your degree. You are not your GPA. You are what you build from here. The system lied to you. Your parents believed the lie. You paid for the lie. But the lie doesn't have to define the rest of your life. You can start over. You can change direction. You can choose a different path. It's not too late. Section 7. The courage to admit the truth. The best investment isn't a degree. It's the courage to admit when the system lied to you. So let me ask you a question. And I want you to answer honestly. In the comments, what degree do you have? And what would you choose instead if you could start over? Be specific, be honest, be vulnerable. Because here's what I've learned. The moment you admit the truth out loud is the moment you start healing. I have a PhD in anthropology. I'd choose electrician school. I have a master's in English. I'd choose nursing. I have a bachelor's in philosophy. I'd choose welding. These admissions aren't failures. They're awakenings. And they might save someone else from making the same mistake. If you want the exact spreadsheet I use to calculate opportunity costs for any career decision, hit subscribe. Real data, real formulas, no fluff. And if this video stopped you from making a $200,000 mistake, drop a like. The algorithm needs to know this matters. But more importantly, you need to know this matters. Your life isn't over because you chose wrong at 21. Your wealth isn't destroyed because you trusted the system. But it will be if you keep pretending the system was right. The plumber isn't beneath you. The electrician isn't less intelligent. The HVAC technician isn't inferior. They're just wealthier because they chose cash flow over credentials. And it's not too late for you to do the same. Start today. Acknowledge the cost. Monetize your skills. Build your escape. Because the only thing more expensive than admitting you were wrong is spending the rest of your life pretending you were right.